he wasn't in Moscow, they can prove it. Holy crap. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. All right, I thought they were going to miss the deadline, but we have the alibi information from Bryan Kohberger's defense team, and I'm floored. You guys are going to be floored. I'm floored. I kind of knew, sort of hoping at least, what was going to end up happening here because of how confident that Ann Taylor has been acting when it comes to his innocence, Bryan's innocence, and all of the interesting information that we've been finding out here recently about how some of the accusations going around have been false. Now, this just seals it. This is crazy, okay? This literally says that he was not even in Moscow at the time of the murders, okay? All right. Comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through his attorney of record, Ann C. Taylor, public defender, and hereby files a supplemental response to the demand for alibi and in compliance with Idaho Code blah, 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 and Idaho Criminal Code blah, blah, blah. Mr. Kohberger moved to Pullman, Washington in June of 2022. As an avid runner and hiker, he explored many areas of the Palouse. I'm hoping I'm at least saying that part right. Of note, he explored Wawawai Park in July of 2022, and this became a favorite location. After this school year began, Mr. Kohberger was busy with classes and work at Washington State University, and his running and hiking decreased but did not stop. This is supported by data from Mr. Kohberger's phone showing him in the countryside late at night and or in the early morning on several occasions. Now, does that not sound like the 12 phone pings from the exhibits for the PCA? See, what matters here is exact location. Just like in the clips that I played you guys in my last video about how they've known for this entire time that Bryan didn't stalk one of the victims, Steve Goncalves said it was only 9 or 10 miles. It wouldn't surprise me if they passed each other just in normal circumstances, either getting coffee or going to the grocery store. Okay, but those same 9 or 10 miles are the exact same phone towers. That's why even in the exhibit itself, where it puts all of these dozen times of him apparently going over there, they even have to put one in there about how there's one of those pings that says that he is in Moscow, but they know for a fact on that specific date that he actually wasn't, that it's a false ping. So that's this exact same thing. They're literally doing what they said they were going to do. They were going to prove Bryan Kohberger's alibi and his innocence by using the state's evidence against them. And I think that we just saw an example of that. The phone data includes numerous photographs taken on several different late evenings and early mornings, including in November, depicting the night sky. So that means that his phone has a whole lot of photographs of the night sky. Is that what that means? The phone data includes numerous photographs taken on several different late evenings. Yeah, photos in Bryan Kohberger's phone with geodata that puts him at different locations in the areas that they're talking about, where these are countryside hiking sort of areas, and there's pictures of the night sky. Mr. Kohberger was out driving in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, as he often did to hike and run in order to see the moon and stars. He drove throughout the area south of Pullman, Washington, west of Moscow, including Wawawai Park. And we're going to look at that here in just a second. Partial corroboration. Mr. Kohberger intends to offer testimony of Cy Ray, CSLI expert, cell tower, cell phone, and other radio frequency, with his curriculum and reputation and his background all attached. I don't know how to say those two little words, and I'm not even going to try. To show that Bryan Kohberger's mobile device was south of Pullman and west of Moscow, Idaho on November 13th of 2022. That Bryan Kohberger's mobile device did not travel east on the Moscow-Pullman Highway in the early morning hours of November 13th, and thus could not be the vehicle captured on video along the Moscow-Pullman Highway near Floyd's cannabis shop. Oh, so they just gave us a location for a piece of evidence that they have for the car that they're claiming is in evidence. Okay, we're going to look at that here too. Additional information as to Mr. Kohberger's whereabouts as the early morning hours progressed, including additional analysis by Mr. Ray, will be provided once the state provides discovery requested and now subject to an upcoming motion to compel. If not disclosed, Mr. Ray's testimony will also reveal that critical exculpatory evidence further corroborating Mr. Kohberger's alibi was either not preserved or has been withheld. Holy crap, holy broskies. Okay, so let's see for a second what they have here. Who is this Cy Ray? That's a very interesting name. Is this person right here? Meritok? He's a former sergeant. Okay, Cy Ray is the founder of ZX Corporation and lead RF engineer for 10-2 Technologies. Cy's entrepreneurial career with ZX began after serving 20 years in law enforcement, where he spent time as a SWAT operator, homicide sergeant, and directing fugitive missions. Some of his work has been featured on several episodes of 48 Hours, 2020, The Discovery Channel, and Dateline, showcasing his investigative and technological expertise. Cy spent time in Afghanistan as a field advisor for an undercover team targeting improvised explosive device cells. Holy crap. Actually, you know what? Maybe I've seen this guy's face before. Cy established ZX in 2014 as a one-stop shop for law enforcement as it pertains to cellular geolocation mapping, analysis, and training. The software he designed currently leads the industry in geolocation mapping for RF data. While devoting his career to bringing advanced training and investigative technology to law enforcement, Cy is a subject matter expert in the field of geolocation mapping and identifying target sets. Cy's geolocation expertise in the field of radio frequency RF has advanced into RF engineering of detection devices with 10-2 Technologies during the past 2 years. When was this posted though? Because I just clicked on the first thing. I mean, it was the first thing right here. It was the first freaking thing. Okay. His accomplishments include engineering RF drone detection sensors used by the NFL at the 2015 Super Bowl and engineering RF tracking and security technology for law enforcement and military applications. In his free time, Cy enjoys spending time on his family's ranch in southern Arizona and penning early drafts of a book he intends to have published. So this guy is for real. And he is willing, after looking at the information in Bryan Kohberger's case, he is willing to testify to the fact that Bryan Kohberger was not there that night. And Ann Taylor means every word she says when she says that she believes in his innocence and that she believes that the DNA could have been planted there, because she used those exact words. Maybe not the DNA could have been planted there, but she used planted when it comes to the DNA on the knife sheath in court, standing up, talking to the judge. Maybe there's a real reason. And maybe they needed to have just taken this to the preliminary from the very beginning, because this literally makes it look as if an innocent man is sitting there. My daughter thinks so. I was talking to her about this on the way home today because I didn't know about this. I was going about my business, editing a Riley Strain video for the channel for the first time, and got a text from a friend. Check this out. Andrea Burkhart done posted the documents. Holy crap, he wasn't in Moscow? Holy shit, they can prove it? Holy crap. I've been asking questions like we should have been instead of jumping the gun. I mean, admittedly, I jumped the gun, but then the PCA came out and there was questions. And this is like concrete proof that we should have been asking these questions this entire time. So we're going to look at this as best as we can. What they're trying to tell us is that instead of Bryan Kohberger leaving his apartment right here, coming this way and going on the highway right here and heading towards 1122 King Road, the way that they're telling us that he did before showing back up apparently right here in Blaine, okay? They're claiming that while, yes, there is a car in evidence, let's layer this. There is a car in photos in the evidence locker from somewhere around this Floyd's Cannabis Shop on the Pullman Moscow Highway. Let's see, which one is it? Okay. Meaning that there's a picture of a vehicle, this right here. There is a picture of a vehicle that is in evidence that is timed at around the same time they're claiming that Bryan Kohberger would have been driving there, but the defense team now has proof that Bryan Kohberger's car was nowhere near this area. So does that mean that the car in question pulled over and stopped at Floyd's Cannabis Shop? Or are they on this traffic cam right here by the cannabis shop? One of those things, right? And as you can see, look at that. King Road's right here. So instead of going all the way that way and then coming like this way and then going down south, which was, strange and made us question a lot of things because he didn't show back up again until like in between Blaine and Genesee right here. We've gone through this, I don't even know how many times, okay? But they're claiming that he was over here at this Wawaway Park thing like a lot. And what they're basically alluding to in this, because it's not really coming out and just like saying it, it's basically saying, hey, this is where he goes all the time. And we have proof that he was countryside west of Moscow and not anywhere near the town itself, right? So I think that's what they're alluding to on the map. Yeah, that he was this way. That he went this way towards the park area, because this is the county park right here. And there's like hiking trails and stuff all through this, I'm assuming. You can get like right on it. Oh boy, you really can. Yeah, so like here's the road. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not going to go and like look around and try to find all of that stuff. But that's what they're trying to say. That they can prove that this famous guy who's been on all these things, whose face looks ridiculously familiar to me, can prove that Bryan Kohberger was that way and not that way that night. And if that is the truth, and if that is the case, then again, Ann Taylor meant what she said by the DNA being planted on the knife sheath and them firmly believing in Bryan Kohberger's innocence. But now I want to know what you guys think, because I am floored. I wasn't expecting details like this. These are very intricate details in telling the story of what is going to be proven. And it does look as if they are doing what they said. They're going to use the state's evidence against them. And they just so happen to be able to also be calling in one of their own experts that can prove all of this. So does that actually mean that before the arrest warrant and all that stuff was done, that they knew all of this already? Or did they not find out all of this until afterwards, and instead of manning up and doing the right thing and letting this man go because he's innocent, it shows he is innocent. If he was not there, he was there, and there's proof he is innocent, okay? Stranger things have happened. You literally have like a dozen people's DNA on you at any given time, just so you know. Go take a shower. But yeah, I wasn't expecting these sort of very detailed, this is what we are going to prove to you. He was here instead of there, and we're going to prove it. We're going to prove all of it, and this is how we're going to prove it. That's wild. But at this point, with this, how could you not think that he is innocent? How could you not think that something is wrong here? Seriously, I want to know. I'm not even going to argue with people who don't feel the same way. I'm just going to let the comments be there, because how, after just these last couple of weeks, could you sit here and still not think they have the wrong guy? I wasn't sure. I kept an open mind and I really wanted them to. I didn't want this to keep going because now if they can really come out and prove this, do you realize that that means that whoever the frick is responsible for this is still out there? Yeah. That could be what's actually happening here, you guys. I want to know what you guys think. I need to step away and take a break because holy shit. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Whew. See y'all.